Today, we will be trading without losing right inside of Pocket Option. I'm going to walk you guys through everything. I'm going to show you the strategy and also the indicators that I'm applying to the chart. What's going on, everybody? Mark here. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. So we're going to be trading for about 30 minutes or so. And the goal here is to not lose money. And I think that's what everybody's goal is, especially when it comes to trading. And of course, when it comes to Pocket Option. So now that does not mean we're going to win every single trade. So, some of you might feel like this is clickbait, but in a way, we don't lose money. I mean, that's the whole point here. When the video is finished, we want to be in profit. And I would say most of the time, 99% of the time, I come out in profit on every single one of my videos. So guys, just hang with me here and let's avoid losing inside a Pocket Option. I'm going to walk you through the strategy right now. So to set everything up, what you guys want to do is use the line chart inside of Pocket Option. Now, I've been using this line chart strategy for a few days now, and actually, no, a little bit longer than that, probably over the course of the last week. I've been going back and forth. I normally do not change my strategies. I have a couple strategies that I use. So I have a 5-second strategy that I use with the regular candlesticks, but a newer strategy with the line tool is something that I've been doing just, in my spare time. And I find it enjoyable and it actually goes pretty quick. So if you have a short attention span and you don't want to have to wait very long to get in and out of trades, then you might want to check this out. So the first thing is to select the line chart over here on the chart types. And I've also enabled the auto scroll, something that you may want to have that turned on if you're using the line chart. Just an extra tip there. It comes in really, really handy. So now, as far as the indicators, what I'm using here is the Super Trend indicator. Okay. I'm also using a moving average. Now, the settings for the moving average for that specific simple moving average, I'm going to leave those settings inside of the private VIP group. Okay. Because it just wouldn't be fair if I put everything out there on YouTube. Some of these strategies are spoken about inside of the group. And so we do keep some indicator settings private. But for the most part, you guys can still do this strategy. Don't feel like you have to have every single setting perfect. If you have the super trend applied to the chart, you guys should be good to go. So after we have all that, then we're ready to take trades, right? Or are we? See, one of the best things when it comes to trading and Pocket Option, I would say the best thing, is to have money management, right? You guys have to be really careful about your trade amounts, because if you're not, you can enter trades, and if you're not really watching closely, you can win in Pocket Option, but that doesn't mean that you're going to come out in profit. And one of those reasons is because there's payout percentages. See, Pocket Option needs to make money too. So they're only going to give you back 92% of whatever you put into the trade. The rest of that goes to Pocket Option, right? So we have to be careful with that, because a lot of times those payout amounts will drop, and they can really drop really, really low, even as much as 50%, which means that if you put in $10, guys, you're only going to get back $5 if you win the trade. So you have to be careful and always make sure you're paying out or you're trading with the highest payout as possible, which is 92%. So that's pretty straightforward. A lot of you guys already know about that if you've been using Pocket Option for a while. The reason I'm saying all this about the payouts is because it kind of complicates the math. And so what we use to make life a lot easier is something called the Wealth Warriors Trade Manager. Now, this is a highly advanced trade manager with mathematical calculations, which allows you to win even if you have losses. Okay, even if you have multiple consecutive losses, you can still come out in profit with your trades. And one of the reasons is because it takes into the account the payout percentage, the portion that Pocket Option makes, and also whatever you take away from the trade. So you can see the payout percentage is adjustable here, and you can lower this amount. And if you do that, that will allow any slippage that happens with those currencies. So if you're trading with let's say a currency pair inside a Pocket Option, and that payout percentage drops as low as 80%, you will be covered and still be able to come out in profit using the Trade Manager. And that's because the Trade Manager will use an algorithm. Okay, there's an algorithm behind this, and it will give you the exact trade amounts to enter inside a Pocket Option to keep you in the clear, to keep you in profit along your trading sessions. Okay, so now I'll be explaining and showing you exactly how all this works. But the first step is to look up here inside of Pocket Option on your balance. Now you guys can use this on a demo account or a real account. I would highly advise everybody to start with a demo or start on the demo account if you're using a strategy for the very first time. So, but for me, this is real money. Here's my demo, and then here's my real money, 525. And you want to take that amount and enter that in where it says initial capital. So 525. Now for the risk settings, once you get inside of the private group, I have videos that go into much greater detail on what all these settings mean. Okay, but just for now, I'm going to set this to win 2 out of 10 trades. And yeah, that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and change this back to 92%. That means I make about $4 per session. Now each session can only take a couple minutes or maybe even less. It really just depends. So don't get too caught up on this win profit amount. You might see the initial capital that I have, but you might look at the win profit and say, well, Mark, that's kind of it's not a really big number. But guys, you have to keep in mind that there is the power of compounding. So when you're doing multiple sessions per day in trading, you can do 25, 30 sessions in an hour if you really focus on it. So times that amount by how many sessions that you're doing. And so that's really what you want to look at. Now over here with the trade amount, this is the first trade amount that you should enter into Pocket Option, 359. So let's come over here and I will enter that in, 359. Let's make sure that we have the trade amount limit turned on. I do have mine turned on. And we want to set the expiry to 5 seconds. So using the line chart, you want to set an expiry of 5 seconds, at least for this strategy anyway. So that means I'm all set to go. Once I enter the trade amount that the Trade Manager gives me for the very first trade, then I'm ready to look for entries using this strategy. Now, the strategy itself, this is something really, really great, especially for beginners, because all you're really doing is you're looking for a trend, either up or down. Okay, so a trend means that you see the price going in one direction, either up or you see it going down. That's all that means, guys. So an overall trend, either that's up or down. We've got going up here. You can clearly see that we're going up, right? The price is going up. Now that can quickly turn around and start to go down. We all know that. But you want to get that trade in while it's trending in whichever direction. So we can just sit here and watch this if you want to. And you can see that this simple moving average is giving you an overall direction of where the price is going. But look at this. It's changed direction here. Okay. So now what we want to do before we start trading is come over here. I'm using the currencies. Some of you have asked, can you use crypto, commodities, and stocks? Yes, you can. But you have to use OTC, everything that you trade with here. must have the initials OTC because we're trading with less than a minute. Yeah, for the expiry, you can't trade with less than a minute with live markets. Pocket option will not allow you to do that. So let's go ahead and choose something here. Now what I'm going to do is enter right when I see a sell or buy signal, but in this case we're going down, so I'm looking for sells. So you can see the trend, the price is going down, right? Downward trend, guys. So I'm going to wait for a little bit of a pullback here. And it's dropping. Okay, there we go. And I'm looking for that sell signal. There it is. And then I'll just hang tight here. And there we go. So we have a win. Now, what do we do if we have a win? Do we take another trade? Well, not exactly. We have to go over here to the trade manager, mark this as a win. Now, based on my settings, which are pretty conservative, not the most conservative settings, but but it says the next trade amount is less than $1. You can see it in red here. And well, because of this, we can't really trade with less than $1 inside a pocket option. So what I'm going to do is just reset this. Let's mark one session completed. I will take my balance, what it is now, which is 528.30, and enter that up here. Okay, and that's how it works, guys. So what I'm going to be doing here, we'll go for another 25 minutes or so. I'm just going to continue trading, and I'm going to be using the trade manager. You guys get to see what I'm doing. We may have some losses. We may have some wins. If you want the wins, you got to have the losses too. That's the way the game goes, guys. So I've updated my initial capital, and I'm doing that so we can get that compound effect. The first trade amount is 361. And I'm feeling pretty good today, guys. I got up early. I'm working on the new version of the trade manager and everything that involves. And so it's been quite a journey. But yeah, let's look for something that's trending. There we go. This looks pretty good. I'll wait for a pullback there. It'll first give me a sell signal. There's the sell signal. And then there's the buy signal. And then I'll jump in. Good. Took a little time there. A little bit of a delay for whatever reason, but sometimes that can happen. Usually that only happens when the New York Stock Exchange opens, but looks like we're doing pretty good. So I've won that. That's another session completed. Let's check the balance. 531.62. And the new trade amount is 363 for the first trade. Now I say the first trade because if we have a loss, then the trade manager will give us another amount, which is going to be different than the first amount. Okay, this is not exactly martingale, guys. Martingale, you can blow your account like in 5 or 6 losses, you're done. Okay, that's not what this is. This is it's got an entirely different algorithm behind it. It's not as simple as just multiplying your trade amounts, right? Now, pocket option allows you to do that. I'll show you how to do that. But over here, you can click on this little multiply button right here. So instead of 363, if you click that, now it's 726, right? So that's like 2 times whatever trade amount that you have entered in here. So, but I'm not going to do that. 363. So let's go ahead and continue, and I will choose a chart here. Here we go. Maybe we will get some losses here. Who knows, guys? There's the sell signal. There's the buy signal. It's, oh, there we go. We got a little pump. So that's another win. And I will not mark that as a win because we know that the trading session is complete after that happens. 534.69. Now, that's not the reality. Winning, we have some members that are, we have inside of the private group, we have a channel called the Strategy Vault. And some of you are winning, like I've seen as much as 10 trades in a row by following the strategies that we share. But many of you have gotten 10 wins in a row inside of the group. And I think that's just fantastic. Amazing. But the Strategy Vault is a new section that's part of the Telegram group. So I think you guys would absolutely love it. Really, lots of good nuggets in there. So we've updated the initial capital, and so we need to update our trade amount, which is going to be 366. And cutting the video a little bit short today because I do have some family stuff I have to attend to. Normally we go on for like an hour. The longest video is 2 hours. I always like to put it at. I'm really proud of that, but I had a lot of fatigue at the, around the hour and a half mark, constantly trading. I mean, you do have a lot of fatigue, guys. It's and on these videos, you have to keep going. If I was just trading on my own or just by myself, then I would probably get up, stretch, walk around, maybe get a snack or something, or not a snack, but just get some water. And I wouldn't really worry about it. Okay, so we've got a loss. So what do we do if we have a loss? So here's what you guys want to do. Come over to the Trading Manager, and you've got a couple options here. So you've got W and L. So we're going to want to select L. And then you can see that the Trade Manager gives you the next trade amount, which is going to be 678. And if you guys do have a loss, it's okay. Just, maybe look at the charts again. Say, hey, could I have chosen a different chart or a better chart? And this looks pretty cool. Go ahead and give this a shot. And we could have multiple losses, you just never know. That almost was a profit. Very, very close, guys. Let's mark this with an L, 1238. That's all you guys got to do. Just give, enter the amounts that the Trade Manager gives you for each and every trade. It really just takes out the guesswork. And yeah, I'm not gonna. That looked nice right there. That was a little late on that, but I could probably get in. The line chart moves very, very fast. Some charts are a little bit short. Now, right here, be careful if you do select a live market, such as this, because this does not have OTC, your expiry will change to 1 minute. Just be really careful about that, guys. So here's what I'm going to do. See, I got to come over here, change that to S5. Now we're back on 5 seconds again. So just be careful with that. And that's one of those things that I have missed several times when trading, and it can really get you because you'll find a good entry. You'll find a good entry and then you'll enter and then you'll be like, oh, it's a 1 minute expiry. Okay, so we're still in profit, guys. So we have not lost, okay? 2 losses, 1 win. So we've got the next trade amount. It's over $1. It's 340. So now you can see the next amount is smaller. Look at that. It's even smaller than the very first trade. Looks good. Let's find a chart with a good trend here. Oh, here we go. This is interesting. Kind of going down here. Look at that simple moving average, guys. It's just going down. This yellow line here. But this is This chart moves extremely fast. So we had 2 losses and, excuse me, voice is cracking here. Let's go ahead and mark this as a win. And so now it gives you the next trade amount, but that doesn't mean you should continue trading, because the goal with these settings for this session is to win only 2 trades. Now, in the new version of the Trade Manager, this will not be here, okay? Because it creates a lot of confusion. Whatever you have set for the win trades, that's how many wins that you need just for this one session. So after you reach that number, which is 2 in my case, your session's completed. So you come down here, click on Restart, come over here and add 1 session on the session counter. Now we've added this because we like to keep track of how many sessions that we're doing, because we may have a goal or something like that. Now, as far as the goals go, there is something that I've included inside of the spreadsheet, which is called daily goals. So now a lot of this depends on the amount of capital that you have inside a pocket option. You know, the more you have, of course, the higher your profit target or daily goal can be. So for me, I have $200, but that's pretty high for initial capital of only, $500 something. So I would probably lower this, maybe down to $25. $25 a day, right? Not bad. Sessions required 6, so I only have to complete 6 sessions. You could probably do $50 a day. That would only require 12 sessions. That's it. So we've already done 4 sessions. And if I do 12 sessions, does that give me over 9% gain on my account? Yes. When it's all said and done, that's roughly, give or take, how much you should have, right? And a lot of this is going to be updated in the new version. Speaking of the new version, Trade Manager version 3 is going to be released on May 7th. Guys, this is a huge update. We've spent almost 5 months developing the spreadsheet and, adding new features. And these features, I would say probably 95% of all the features are requested from you guys. More advanced risk control, trade tracking. You can log your trades now into a spreadsheet with only 1 click. There's brand new optimization tools, a lot of things to make your life even easier when you're using the Trade Manager, so you guys can stay disciplined, you can avoid overtrading, and you can maximize profits. That's the whole key. That's the whole goal here. And, it's a much smoother interface. The whole thing is built to protect your capital. That's the main thing here, guys. When you have losses, if you had more than 1, maybe 5 losses in a row, what are you going to do, right? I mean, that's what the Trade Manager is built for. It's just built to handle those losses because, nobody wants that. And we all panic. We go into this downward spiral. We keep putting in more money and more money. We're not keeping track of all the trade amounts. We don't really know what the exact calculations are. The Trade Manager takes out all that guesswork. It does all of that for you guys. Okay? So this is decent strategy, guys. I would try it out. You just need basically 1. If you want the other indicator, which is the simple moving average, we've got indicator settings. And guys, if you want to check out the group, there is a lot more going on besides just the Trade Manager, which is what you guys get by joining the VIP. It's not just a Telegram group. We have a lot of you out there that are brand new to this. And, we have a lot of YouTube channels out there that talk about trading. And most of them just have a Telegram group. That's not all we have. That's only one component. That's where we communicate. That's where we share ideas. And it's a two-way communication. It's not a news feed, guys. These are not signals. It's nothing like that. And so the group, it kind of looks like this. We have ongoing support. We have over we're getting close to 1,500 members now. It's pretty outrageous, but the community is growing rapidly. We've got a lot of members that want to get their hands on the Trade Manager. They see the benefit. They see the power of this, and they're using this every day. And by the way, guys, we have hours of videos about strategies, some strategies that I don't even have on my YouTube channel, that I don't even show. These are only available privately inside of the group to give you guys that extra edge that you're looking for. But we've had members come into the group from all walks of life. They've never been profitable. They've tried stocks, indices, crypto, futures, Forex. They've tried it all, and they have not really made any profits or even had a lot of fun with trading. It just hasn't been fun for a lot of people. You wake up, you come on here, and you have a loss. That's not fun. And that's why we develop these tools to help you and to guide you. So when there is times of trouble, or you have, a day where maybe you'll have a loss, and, instead of being all bummed out, well, just enter that loss into the Trade Manager, get the next trade amount, and continue on. It's really that straightforward, guys. And we have members on here that have blown me away, that have exceeded my expectations of, having users use the tools that I'm creating, and seeing the results that you guys are getting has completely blown me away. Incredible. Some of you are compounding your accounts over weeks and months. You're starting off with one amount, and we have a 30-day compound calculator, by the way. This is something different. It's totally different than the regular compound calculators that you see out there on YouTube. But this is something specifically designed for the Trade Manager, like this guy. You can take just one amount, for example, $400, and over the course of 30 days, you can compound that. He's made $2,000 in profit over the course of 30 days, just starting with $392. It's stuff like that, guys. But you set the risk, you're in control, and but we've got lots of great testimonials. I will be when the new version of the Trade Manager is released, I will be posting so many more new screenshots and testimonials for you guys, a lot of different reviews from the members inside of the group. So stay tuned for that. I'm really excited about that. But you guys can trade anywhere in the world. You know that. You just need a laptop, and you just need an internet connection. But that's the group, and that's pretty much it. So try this out. It's pretty straightforward. You just take the buy and sell signals, but only do that if you have an upward or downward trend. Okay, if you have a downward trend, you're only looking for sells. On an upward trend, you're only looking for buys. I wish you guys the best of success. We'll see you on the next video. Take care.